Hello all and welcome to the I forgot to check the number 39. I'm going with 39.
39!
Okay.
Because we were 38 when we recorded last.
That's what I thought so too. But welcome back to the Lair of Lore. I'm Cap.
And I'm Miriam, and we actually recorded our intro like an intro.
Yeah.
Yay!
Occasionally we remember to do that. I like how we were going to talk about nothing but more Eldraine because technically I guess the set is out now and neither of us have played any of it since it released.
Life happens.
Yeah. But, I mean, I got to play some on the streamer event for Arena, but that's pretty much all I've had a chance to play. But then they also came out with a bunch of, well, I want to say came out with a bunch of announcements. They announced a couple of things, and also one utterly flummoxing thing that I think both of us have since forgotten about.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I didn't. Because it's in our chat.
Yes.
Because it's, what?
So before we get going, as part of the streamer event, Wizards of the Coast asked for, like, mail information for pretty much every streamer, and apparently all of the big ones got some sort of, like, box thing, and us small people who actually gave information got 2 packs of Edlraine, which, yay! I mean, I don't actually play physical magic, so yay, but might as well crack them on the show. And as Wizards is very, very specific to require, I must say that I did not purchase these. These were definitely gifts from WotC. I opened it backwards and have a shiny food token. Oh, wait, is this... Oh, are these the alternate pack? I didn't realize these were the alternate packs.
Ooh, cool.
That explains why they felt weird to me. Okay. So,
these are the variants?
Yeah. Shiny food token.
Nice.
Garenbrig Paladin, which is the adamant green giant knight, who...
Okay.
Okay, so I played with this boy in Arena, and I don't think he's bad, but I also don't like him. Mostly because he's a, what's it called? Brain, come on, you can do this. I believe in you.
Paladin?
He's a knight in a color that doesn't care about knights.
Yeah, no, that's not...
yeah, because there's knights in every color, but he's just sort of meh.
Knights are... I guess traditionally knights have been way more of like a
They've been
white
in white, but in this set they're sort of a Mardu thing.
Well,
and
yeah,
every
it's
color has
the
them.
5 kingdoms that we talked about last time.
Yeah, and every color has them, but like red, white, and black are the ones that like really support it. But every color has a couple, and I'm sort of like meh.
God, as I'm scrolling through, because I'm on the alternate card gallery.
Oh yeah, I guess I should.
Some of these are so pretty.
So
pretty.
Okay, this doesn't actually have all of them.
I'm having the same feeling that I had last time we looked at these. Like, oh, they're so nice.
The next card is the Prized Griffin, which
birdie.
It is a birdie. I mean, yay! It's a 3/4 flyer for 5. That's actually not terrible. Oh shit! This card is actually good. This is a card that won me several of my games in the streamer event, mostly because who the hell's expecting someone to actually play a terrible combat trick? Lash of Thorns. Sorry, I'm a little slow because I'm throwing all of these into the video. 1 black, instant, target creature gets +2/+1 and gains Death Touch until end of turn.
Solid instant.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Finally got one of them that's an adventure, so it actually has alternate art.
Sweet.
Which means I should actually have the alternate card image gallery open so that I can show it.
Lash of Thorns.
This is one that everyone who I played against seemed to use it to great and impressive effect. And I tried it once and failed hard.
Which card?
Queen of Ice. Do you actually want to read this one?
Oh, yeah. I also really liked this alternate art versus the
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's cooler. Okay, so Queen of Ice. She is a 2/3 for 2 generic and a blue. It's a human noble wizard. Whenever Queen of Ice deals combat damage to a creature. Tap that creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Okay, so her adventure is Rage of Winter. For a generic and a blue, it's an adventure sorcery. Tap target creature. Doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I like this alternate art more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next one is Raging Redcap, which is it's fine. 2 generic red creature, Goblin Knight, 1/2 with double strike. If you, in my experience, running in the Knight deck, it was actually pretty solid, if not the best.
I like flavor text. It's got some good flavor text.
Many tales of Redcap terror begin with 2 simple things: bloodlust and stolen steel. I was like, stolen steed? What?
I mean, I could see this thing stealing a horse and going on a joyride.
I can see this thing stealing a horse and eating it.
That's fair.
There's the next one if you want to read that.
Hengewalker. It is an artifact creature. It's a 2/2 for 3 generic with adamant. If at least 3 mana of the same color was spent to cast this spell, Hengewalker enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Everything that inhabits Garenbrig is affected by the wild magic flowing through the Great Henge. Oh, they got a Stonehenge.
Yeah. In fact, I believe it's their artifact, or their mythic artifact. This one makes me sad because it's not alternate art, but it is an adventure. The Rosethorn Acolyte. I think we talked about this one, but I don't remember for sure. 2 generic and a green. It's an elf druid, taps for 1 of any mana, and its adventure is seasonal ritual sorcery. Add 1 mana of any color. So it's basically a Manamorphose, sort of. Except that Manamorphose costs 2 and gives you a red and a green. But still, it's effectively a card for, I need to fix some mana 1 time only.
Sweet.
Should we maybe only go through 1 of these packs and save the other one for next time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm also now more confused about this pack because going back through it, there's a not shiny but still alternate art Queen of Ice and a not shiny but is actually alternate art Rosethorn Acolyte, which is confusing, to say the least. There's also 3 rares. I feel like this pack was assembled by a mad person. Because everything up until now has been foil. Then I've got 2 more foils, then a package here of 3 non-foil alternate art adventures, and then 2... Okay, 1 normal rare, 1 slightly extended art rare, and then 1 foil rare. I don't understand. Are these supposed to have land? So first up is Deathless Knight, if you want to start reading that while I go get the art.
Yeah, so it's in black, right?
Yep, it's in... Well, here, actually, I got the art quickly. So it's in the Discord. Haha.
Thank you.
It's one of the hybrid ones.
Oh, okay.
Just to screw with your filing.
Oh, geez. So, Deathless Knight. It's, well, you could do 4 black, 4 green, any combination thereof. You just have to have 4 of them. So this is a Skeleton Knight. He's a 4/2. He's got haste. When you gain life for the first time each turn, return Deathless Knight from your graveyard to your hand. Headed to the wilds, beware the dead riders who serve the Shadow Queen. Scallon, the Edgewall Innkeeper.
If I remember this card correctly, this is one of those things that other people use to great effect, and I just sort of looked at it and went, how did you... Okay, sure. Up next is Overwhelmed Apprentice. When Overwhelmed Apprentice enters the battle... Oh, sorry, for 1 blue, it's a human wizard, 1/2. When Overwhelmed Apprentice enters the battlefield, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, then you scry 2. There's a mill deck in this limited format, and I hate that. Unironically, there is a mill deck, and I fought against it multiple times during the streamer event.
Who is the Shadow Queen that they're talking about?
I don't know if we know... Oh, I think it's the Lich. We talked
Sorry,
about her.
I love the concept of a Shadow Queen.
I kind of assumed that it's Iara, first of Lochwain.
Oh, that's she's where are you?
She's the first one in black.
Thank you. I think you might be right.
Since she's the only
Yep.
black thing that I can see with noble, since the other one is, or the other like legendary in black is Rankle, Master of Pranks, the weird fairy rogue.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Um,
But continuing on, we've got, let's see here, a copy of Curious Pair, and then the weird duplicates that we've got, so let me go grab this one. This card I actually used to great effect, mostly because turns out the food deck is fun. Like, if you can either draft or get lucky and play it in sealed, the food deck is fun, and I love it.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's a bunch of just workable combos with it.
We still have that lovely plan in place.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So, for one generic and a green, it's a creature, human, peasant, 1/3. It's gingerbread, like Mother makes. But what is there to be, afraid of? And for one green, treats to share as a sorcery, create a single food token. But
So I'm kind of afraid that they're facing down the gingerbread right now.
no, I think they're dealing more with the
pie in the window.
Well, no, not that one. I'm trying to find there's a card that is just a witch who makes food tokens.
Sorry, I have this image in my head of them facing down the lake.
Oh, Tempting Witch. For 2 generic and a black, Tempting Witch enters the battlefield, create a food token with pay 2 and tap, sacrifice a food token, target player loses 3 life.
Okay, those hands coming out of her cloak are terrifying.
Yup. So then we've got duplicates of Queen of Ice and Rosethorn Acolyte. Next is Tome of Legends. I don't know why I said that like the Welcome to the World of Tomorrow guy, but I did. Wait. Oh! This is technically from the Brawl set? That's weird.
That's really cool looking.
Do you want to read this one then?
Yeah, Tome of Legends. So for 2, Tome of Legends enters the battlefield with a page counter on it. Whenever your commander enters the battlefield or attacks, put a page counter on Tome of Legends. For 1, and tap, remove a page counter from the Tome of Legends. Draw a card.
Huh. Okay, that's actually just kind of fine. Also, had I read it, that would make total sense why it's from the Brawl set, but sure, brain, asshole.
I'm also really into the art.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe the sort of like hole into the book that is looking into another world. Mostly because that sounds like a good description, but normally when you think that phrase, you're expecting it to be like an open book.
Except this would be something, so all y'all crafty people out there, this is actually something you could create.
Oh, for sure. Like
with the way that have you seen anything like this before? Because
the way I'd want to describe it is it's kind of like doing a any of the, like, if you've ever seen someone who does a 3D card altar. Whereas, like, in this case, you would have to, like, carve it into the book through the cover, but for 3D card altars, usually what they do is actually grab multiple copies of the card and sort of, like, cut out aspects of the image and stack them up on top, but yeah. It's like the inverse of that.
Exactly, and you're carving it into a book. That describes it really well. It's like, in my brain, I can picture how to do it.
Yeah. Oh, right, I forgot to grab the next card.
Like, really beautiful, delicate wood cuts. That's so pretty. I love good crafty, like, how to make a thing.
Yeah. So the next one in this pack, like I said, the weird 3 rare thing, is Acclaimed Contender. So for 2 generic and a white, it is a rare human knight, 3/3. When Acclaimed Contender enters the battlefield, if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight, aura, equipment, or legendary artifact from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Actually seems pretty fine.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since the knight deck super wants you to be pulling auras and equipment out of your butt constantly, and all of the legendary artifacts, I think, in this set would all be helpful. So the last one, the foil rare, is Escape to the Wilds. There it is for you. I should probably figure out if I can set this.
That's so cool. It's more of this, like, step into the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
I tried playing this during the streamer event, and it was not the best.
Escape to the Wilds for 3 generic, a red and a green. It's a sorcery. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may play cards exiled this way until the end of your next turn. You may play an additional land this turn.
Yeah.
The guards kindled the hearth and locked the door to Elwyn's chambers. By morning, the fire was out and Elwyn was gone.
So this is a great card, except that the Arena Shuffler is a bag of dildos. So when I was playing it, I was mostly playing it for, like, either I have too many land and I don't need more, so sure, exile them, and then I'll manage to exile somehow a bunch of things I can't cast, or I just exiled 5 lands in a row. How the bloody hell did that just happen?
Yeah, it doesn't... The little bit that I've played, it doesn't...
The Arena Shuffler
starved or
bad.
flooded.
Yeah, it's there is something truly evil about it. It's kind of impressive, honestly.
Oh god, all the armor. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Do we want to talk about stuff besides Eldraine first, or do we just want to, like...
Yeah, let's go. Let's just skim. Let's do a quick overview of stuff that we know is coming out that we're like, okay, how do we feel about this?
I mean, well, first then I feel like we should talk about Unsanctioned, because the last time that we got together to play Magic was to play the last unset.
Yeah, actually, because we both love the unsets.
Yeah.
Although they're doing it as a kind of a set, a pre-constructed set. Kind of thing.
Pre-constructed silver-bordered experience coming in February. Yeah. So it's not
oh my
gonna
god,
be
they're describing it as an experience.
Yeah. Unsanctioned I'm reading this straight from the article. Unsanctioned contains 5 combinable 30-card silver-bordered decks for wacky unfun. The set contains 16 brand new uncards to trip your untrigger. Plus the reprinting of beloved uncards from previous unsets. It's unbelievable. Why does that one not have the Okay. For someone who's not reading this directly, all of the formatting for this is hyphen word, but not unbelievable, I guess because it's a real word. Each copy of Unsanctioned contains the following. Oh, wait, you get all 5 decks. Okay. 5 30-card decks, 2 6-sided die, 10 double-sided tokens, 10 full art basic lands, 5 regular, 5 premium, and 1 reusable box. Knowing these boxes, probably not that reusable, but sure.
Yep.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of plays off of you definitely want to do it in, like, groups of people.
Yeah.
Just for the silliness of it.
And like, I'm gonna be honest, I've sold most of my Magic collection when I was really hard up for cash, so it's not like I have any of our old uncards anyway. Actually, wait, I might only have uncards now, because no one buys uncards except for very specific ones. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we have the sets that are coming out for the rest of 2020. No, yeah, just the rest of 2020. Just one of them in the middle threw off my my saying the rest of 2020 because they do the stupid model car year, and right in the middle there's Core Set 2021.
Exactly. But it's coming out in 2020.
Yeah, because model car year and because Walmart refused... Unironically, the reason why they do that is because Walmart won't stock something that says the year 2020 when the year 2021 rolls around. It's part of the same reason why they do new FIFA and new Madden and new everything every year, because they stop getting stocked by some retailers if they use last year's number.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got Theros Beyond Death. Do you know how to pronounce the second one?
I'm going to say Ikoria.
Okay.
Lair of Behemoths.
And Zendikar Rising, because hey...
I'm curious about Ikoria, I admit that.
I'm kind of sad that of the 4 sets in 2020, one is a new one.
Yeah. We've talked about, I know we've talked about before, how often they like to revisit certain planes instead of just make some new ones.
Yeah, like, there was a running joke for a while that it was like, ah yes, return to Ravnica, that lasted an entire year, but now we have return to Zendikar. We unfucked it.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful because I really like OG Zendikar, but I'm also one of those monsters who really enjoyed Rise of the Eldrazi for being such a different set from the rest of OG Zendikar.
Yeah.
But then I also really hated all of Return to Zendikar because the ally mechanic was still kind of evil, and you didn't bring back any of the adventuring spirit that existed on Zendikar. Also, it feels weird that we're going back to Zendikar now that it's fixed, when we broke Zendikar and made it no longer the adventure world, so they created Ixalan, the new adventure world, but now Zendikar's fixed, so we just have 2 adventure worlds, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, Greek... Isn't Gideon from Theros?
Gideon is from Theros, but he's also dead.
Yeah.
The Beyond Death, though, is because of the last time we were on Theros, Elspeth died. But she died on I feel like we did an entire episode on the weird... on death on different planes in the multiverse, didn't we?
I think you broke it down for me, because I'm like, wait, who died when? This person is dead now?
I think we did an entire episode on how death works on different planes in the multiverse, though, because of this episode, because they made a whole big deal of Elspeth died on Theros, which means that she went through their weird death practice, which is that the spirit and the body are sort of separate entities, and her spirit went to their version of the other underworld, or Styx, whose name I know Styx is the river, but they kept using the river as the metaphor. And I can't remember. Type? Sort of, and they made a whole big deal about, like, yeah, she made her death mask, but made it like it made it with the symbol of the weapon that she was given in it. Given in the Theros story on it, so clearly she has some amount of her brain left. So the Beyond Death is just like, hey, remember that thing we teased a while ago? Yeah, Elspeth's coming back.
Oh, Nyx.
No, because Nyx is the realm of the gods. Because that's like the Starscape. I think there's another one, isn't there?
I don't know.
Their whole thing, though, is that effectively, when someone dies, the spirit and body are split, and the body can sometimes return to, or not the body, the spirit can sort of return to Earth, or return to Theros as a zombie, and a bunch of them try and live out their lives. That's what the Grey Merchant of Asphodel, also known as Gary, is basically like the closest thing we got to see in that set to the city of Asphodel, which is apparently a city made by the dead.
Oh.
Like the dead who have returned, which is why they're called the Returned, and I've been trying to remember the word returned this entire time.
Despite the fact that we said it before.
Did we? Sorry.
Oh, wait, Asphodel is actually a real plant? What?
That would make sense.
There's a... Oh God, what is it? The Meadows of Asphodel in Greek mythology.
Okay.
Basically, it's the, like, you weren't that bad, but you weren't good enough to get into, like, the heaven-ish, the nice portion of the underworld, but you weren't bad enough to, like, end up in...
actual Tartarus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just were normal.
Yeah. So, this is the weird thing, is that we're coming off of, like, magic, fairy tale set. We're going back to Theros, who was a set who was defined by 3 things. 1, monocolors, which, sure, you could do that at any time.
Mm-hmm.
to the heroic effect, which was low-key broken at certain points, because that was the effect where if a creature is targeted by a spell, then it gets some sort of additional effect. Most of them effectively amounted to target me with spell and I get strong. And the monsters, which had the monstrous ability, most of whom were like a solid creature that would become monstrous, which would put a bunch of +1/+1 counters on them and give them a new ability. Apparently, at the very least, we've had it confirmed that monsters aren't coming back, which seems weird after this set, also considering the next set is called Lair of Behemoths.
Mm-hmm.
It seems weird not to bring back monstrous, but okay.
Yeah.
I also just really like that mechanic, but I'm always a sucker for big, stupid idiots.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't have a good source for the other thing, so do you want to talk about the other thing?
Oh, yeah. So, this is something that Cap just kind of sent me?
I mean, I just had it thrust upon me because I think Chewy retweeted it.
Hang on, let me see if I can actually find anything for this, because so you know there's a little show and toy line called My Little Pony,
and another show and several other toy lines.
So Cap sent me this card from this supposed set.
What do you mean supposed?
It's a combination. I'm still just like, what the hell? It is a Magic and My Little Pony. Okay, here it is. So Ponies the Galloping is a 3-card silver bordered charity set for Magic the Gathering that is a crossover of My Little Pony and Magic.
Wait, it's only 3 cards?
It's only a 3-card set. It's a charity set.
Oh, one of them's a double-sided card. Okay.
And it's not going to be a playable. I don't think it's really a playable set.
That's it. So just... silver bordered means that it's unplayable unless for some reason you're allowing unset cards, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I was, so seeing this, my first thought was, wait, what?
Oh.
And then, huh? And then, huh? Okay.
So I've got the art or the stuff for all of them here. Do we actually want to read these cards?
I do, because it's weird enough that I'm like, you know what? Sure. Fine.
Let's start with...
Great.
this is... Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to read the first one then?
Yeah, so this is Rarity.
Damn it. Sorry, the card image is not loading properly.
Okay.
Well, it is fine, but it's just way too fucking big. So I'm trying to fix it. So keep reading, I'm just trying to fix this.
Okay, no, it's fine. This is Rarity. For 1 generic, a white and a blue, she is a legendary creature, a unicorn for 2/2. Rare and mythic spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. 1 and tap, reveal a My Little Pony toy you own. Until the end of turn, another target creature gains protection from each color in that toy's coat, mane, and outfit. And just give me a second. I simply cannot let crimes against fabulosity go uncorrected. That is my best attempt at the voice.
Okay.
Okay. Next card.
Yeah, so while I'm posting this image and pre-reading it to make sure that I can get through it without breaking down, I will say I love that they've also altered the little hologram at the bottom of the card.
Oh god, it's a heart.
Yeah, so that it's a heart.
It's a heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next one is Princess Twilight Sparkle for... Wait, are they both white-blue?
They are.
They are, okay. For white-blue, also I love the alternate frame. Okay. Legendary creature Alicorn, whatever the fuck that is. It sounded like you had an explanation, so
No, and so basically an alicorn is Pegasus with a unicorn horn.
Okay,
So
then.
an alicorn. It's a subset.
It's a legendary creature, alicorn, 2/2, flying other alicorns, horses, Pegasi... Wait. Is Pegasi different from just a Pegasus?
It's the plural.
I know it's the plural. I'm weirded... I guess I've just never... That's the... What is it? The Latin pluralization?
I think so.
I've never seen a Latin pluralization used on a Magic card, which is, I think, what's weirding me out. Ponies and unicorns you control get +1/+1. You can pay Wooburg if you control Applejack, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity. Every pony wins the game. I don't
read the flavor text.
I'm just looking at it really quickly that I don't think half of those, or like 3/4 of those, are printed cards. Friendship isn't always easy, but there's no doubt it's worth fighting for.
Because friendship is magic.
Okay, so which side of this double-sided card do you want?
It doesn't matter. Just throw it up and I will read whichever side there is.
I feel like you should get the happier-looking one then, so I'll take the evil-looking one.
Okay, so it's probably Pinkie Pie.
No, it's, So this is the one I'll read because it's the evil-looking one that is the summon side.
Oh, okay.
So this is Nightmare Moon for 4 generic and 2 black legendary creature alicorn with a way more impressive horn and wings, honestly. It's a 6/6 with flying. As long as it's nighttime, Nightmare Moon gets +2/+2 and menace. And pay 6, transform Nightmare Moon. Any pony, I guess that means anybody in this case, may activate this ability. Oliver, stop that. May activate this ability or help pay the cost. When you do, they become your friend. The night will last forever.
Yep.
Okay, so...
Sounds about right.
So, you can read the happy fun side that isn't evil, and, like, the front side looks like it's a totally fine magic card that just wants to kill you.
So, they're the same person.
I get that. Like, that's
so
why
you
it's a
know.
transform card.
Yeah. So this is Princess Luna. She is a legendary creature in Alicorn for 4/4. She's got flying. When this creature transforms into Princess Luna, choose up to 6 cards you own from outside the game with a moon in their art, then exile those cards. As long as those cards remain exiled, you may cast them, and your friends may cast them with your permission. Gifts are appreciated. Okay. I kind of... So...
I hate that all of these work as cards.
They do.
I mean, except for the Rarity doesn't work super well as card. But all the rest of them are just like, that just reads like a janky ability that would totally be printable. What the fuck?
Yep.
What hell world are we living in?
So I've actually watched a surprising chunk of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic because I'm a sucker for a cartoon. I love a good cartoon. They're actually kind of cute. Like, it's the kind of thing that I would have no issue throwing on for a small child.
So everything that I've heard about it is exactly that, and that it's just that it has the worst fan base in the form of, like,
that literally sums it up.
Who are obsessed with it, but then again, isn't it also partially done by the creative team who did stuff like Dexter and
I believe so, yes.
And Samurai Jack and a couple other things. Also, the box that they were doing this in is way higher quality than it probably needed to be, given the fact that it's 3 cards.
Yeah, and okay, so My Little Pony surprisingly tackles some stuff like friendship type issues. I mean, that's the whole premise of the goddamn show. But the way it handles it is adult.
I mean, that's sort of a running thing with a lot of modern kids' TV is that they
don't treat them like they're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they actually treat like morality and empathy type stuff, and they treat it with, it's not pandering. That's the word I think I want to use. It's not pandering. It's like, sometimes you have problems with the people that you love, your friends, and here's a good way to deal with it. And it's weirdly on point. So.
Also, I just realized we're not even behind on talking about this because the set doesn't come out
until October 22nd.
The 3 cards don't come out until October 22nd.
Yeah, so. I mean, if you're
good, but it's... Oh, wait. Hasbro Pulse is not the awful one that's, like, run through eBay, right?
I don't know.
I think this is their internal website, which was so beaten to death every time they put up some things that they started using eBay, which worked out so well.
Yeah, so it's a $50 set, and $30 of that set will be donated to Extra Life, which I believe, hang on, let me see what this is. It's a fundraising.
Extra
it's
Life
is for the Children's Hospital.
Yeah. Extra Life is a massive charity that benefits a whole bunch of children's hospitals. This one in particular, because they're large enough, they also let you sort of, if you're doing a large scale thing like this, they'll let you direct money to specific places. This is specifically being directed to Seattle Children's Hospital. That does remind me that on November 4th, November 4th, which is a Monday, our amazing VIP on Twitch and subscriber, let me make sure before he's got numbers in his name and I always screw it up. Hang on. No buts. Sorry, I'm having to fight my way through Twitch real quick because I need to get to my VIP. There we go. Roles. So twitch.tv Odinson819 is going to be streaming for, I hope not 24 hours, but I know for some significant amount of time to raise money for Extra Life. So anyone who hears this should assuredly go check him out because I know he's going to be doing a whole bunch of sort of multiplayer-esque things. So farming, or not farming, but like, let's see here. What did he tell me he's doing? Monster Hunter. So I know he's doing Monster Hunter stuff. He's going to be trying to do some endgame Iceborne hunts. He's doing some Division 2 and Borderlands 3, as well as probably a whole bunch of roguelikes and roguelites. That's twitch.tv/Odinson819. The numbers, not spelling them out, you monsters.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so you should definitely check that out, because, like this, he will be raising money for Extra Life, which is an amazing cause.
Yeah. Go do it. He's good people's, and if you're doing any sort of, like, charity stream like that, you deserve mad props.
Yeah, and Extra Life is also just a really good charity.
Oh, fantastic. That just makes me happy.
Yeah, I don't believe I've personally done charity streams for Extra Life, because normally I've been doing Child's Play and Take This, or in April, it's either April or May, I take part in the St. Jude Play for Life? No, Play Live? Oh god, it's such a janky name, and I don't have the shirt on, so I can't read it off of the shirt. But like, Extra Life is one of the ones that I've never personally done a charity stream. Wow, I cannot words this morning. A charity stream for, but they're on my list of places that I would be always on board for doing a charity stream for, because they are good people.
Fantastic. I have nothing to add to that. I'm a big believer in, if you can, give it back.
Yeah.
If you can, do what you can. So, with that, shall we dive right into the topic of today?
I mean, I think our topic of today was just kind of covering all of that, and then just grabbing some random cards that we still wanted to talk about.
Exactly.
Because like I was saying, like, I got to play a bit of this from the streamer event.
Mm-hmm.
And
it did not work out for me to go to a pre-release or the release, but that is okay.
Yeah.
I did not skip knitting to go to a pre-release.
But it does mean that now I can safely say that, like, the food deck is great. Because cards like Ginger Brew, that are a generic one-cost creature that just, like, happens to have food as one of its types, makes it so much more useful. Because, yeah, it's a 1/1 with haste. It can just attack. Also, it can give itself haste-based evasion, which is janky as hell, and I love it. But then it also has the fact that it's food, like the Golden Egg card that I think we also talked about. That's just like, it is a food card. So you get to interact with all these stupid things. Or like Witch's Oven, which I don't think we talked about, which is...
I don't think...
Oh, I thought you were saying a thing and I didn't want to interrupt you.
Nope, I said I don't think we did look at it.
Okay. So Witch's Oven for 1 generic is... Hang on, I'm having to fix the card thing again. Because now it's properly fitted for giant cards. For 1 generic, it's an artifact. Sacrifice a creature, create a food token. If the sacrificed creature's toughness was 4 or greater, create 2 food tokens instead. And this card is just really good, especially in the really janky and dumb combo that I was occasionally setting up. Namely, using it in conjunction with cards like, where is he? I think he was spoiled before last time. Let's see here. 1, the Feasting Troll King. Who is
I
like...
don't think so.
Oh, okay. He's stupid expensive. But
thank you.
He's 2 green. Sorry, he's 2 generic and 4 green. Feasting Troll King, creature, troll noble. Vigilance, trample. When Feasting Troll King enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, create 3 food tokens. Sacrifice 3 food tokens. Return Feasting Troll King from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only during your turn. Yeah.
He's a beast.
So I ran into several cases where I was just like, play Feasting Troll King. Opponent goes, I'm going to kill that. And instead I go, okay, but what if instead I sacrifice him to the Witch's Oven and create 2 food tokens? And then they go, okay, that's not that bad. And then look and go, wait, that means you have 5 food tokens. And I go, yes, I do. So I sack 3, bring him back. And then I still have 2 extra food tokens to F around with. And hey, if you don't kill him before I can untap my, my oven, I can sack him again. But then you get other dumb cards, like Giant Opportunity, which I played a lot of also in this really successful dumb food deck. If you want to read this one.
Sure. Okay, Giant Opportunity. For 2 generic and a green, it's a sorcery. You may sacrifice 2 foods. If you do, create a 7/7 green giant creature token. Otherwise, create 3 food tokens. They look tasty, but best to plant them.
And then the other combo that works really well with the oven, which is, it's a shitty way to say it, but it works really well with the oven, is Cauldron Familiar for 1 black creature cat. When Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Sacrifice a food. Return Cauldron Familiar from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's basically sack a food, bring Cauldron Familiar back, tap the pie, or the oven, that's the word. Tap the oven to sacrifice Cauldron Familiar and create a food token. And then sacrifice the food token to bring Cauldron Familiar back.
Basically, you get fucked, regardless.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then there's this card, which also went on the food deck, which I'm going to make you read, because I couldn't say it. Like, every time I grab this card, it'd go like, it feels weird to say this name.
Bug Naughty. For 3 generic and 2 black, it is a 3/3 fairy. With flying, for 2 generic and a black, sacrifice a food. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. The fairy plucked an acorn off the ground. One night's quest was about to come to a bitter end.
Also, yeah, I guess I forgot to read the Cauldron Familiar flavor text, which was, every day the cat returns to kill the same mouse, which sinks again into the cauldron's brew.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So yeah, the food deck is dumb and I love it. Or,
oh my god.
Sorry, here's another one that was used in this deck. Foreboding Fruit, which I don't remember, I would always forget the name of, because, I think Stark looked at it and went, "That's the Pair of Doom." And I could never remember what the real card name was. And it was just like, yes, the Pair, yes.
A poached pear.
Yeah, just in the woods. That's totally safe. 2 generic and a black sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. I used that to kill someone. I made them draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. It was real dumb.
Oh my gosh.
But it has adamant, so if of its 3 mana you spend all of it as black, I guess technically it's if at least 3 black mana was cast to spend this card, but it only costs 3, so you get to create a food token as well.
Okay, see, I just got a fantastically evil idea. Oh
and
god.
What is that?
This is something. It would be a really fun thing to make, and to upgrade it to make it even better, wrap it in pastry.
I mean, you're just describing a poached pear pie.
Exactly. But it would just be so lovely and just look so nice. Or you could do it as like and then you drip like dark berry colored syrup over the top. It's a poison pear!
Well, I've got one more card that from the dumb food decks was real good.
I think we mentioned her, but we did not read
We
her.
mentioned her briefly when we were talking about the food stuff. But yeah, the Tempting Witch for 2 generic and a black creature, human warlock, because I guess witch isn't a creature type. She's a 1/3. When she enters the battlefield, create a food token. However, the important part there is you can pay 2 and tap her to sacrifice a food token to deal 3 damage. Well, to make a player lose 3 life, since that occasionally matters. Or the difference occasionally matters. So she's a third-ish win condition for building a dumb food deck between her and the Feasting Troll King.
This goes back to what we said in the last one, where it's like, don't mess with a barrow witch.
Yeah, just
they
in general.
Will mess you up.
If you are living inside any sort of fantasy setting, don't fuck with witches.
Like, you bring them some nice firewood, you leave a pie for them every now and again, or a rabbit or something. Don't mess with your local witch.
Unless your local witch are, like, the kind that you look at and go, that person's made a pact with some sort of eldritch being, then you should leave. Don't mess with them still, just leave. Go somewhere else.
Don't mess with Barrow Witch! Oh, she's the one who's got the smoke coming out of her in the Throne of Eldraine header.
Yeah. That just reminded me, did we talk about the weird aspect of this plane where it has turtle hydras?
No, but I looked at the turtle hydras. It's the Iron Breaker or something or other.
So there's 2. There's one in the Brawl deck only. The
Iron something hydra.
The Steel Bane hydra.
Thank you.
And then here, let me throw this one in if you want to read that, and I'll go hunt up the other one. So yeah, this one's only in Brawl.
Excuse me. Okay, Steelbane Hydra. This card wasn't out when we did this a couple of weeks ago.
So. I don't think so, no. Or it probably was, but the Brawl stuff was weird and awful to sort through.
Yeah. So, Steelbane Hydra. For 2 green and X, Steelbane Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. For 2 generic and a green, remove a +1/+1 counter from Steelbane Hydra. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Many an ancient treasure has been reduced to jagged caltrops by its snapping jaws.
And then the other one, which is in the normal set, is the Thunderous Snapper, which looks way more threatening, but frankly can be way smaller.
I mean, just look at that beak.
Yeah. For 4 hybrid green mana, it is a creature Turtle Hydra. 4/4, whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost 5 or greater, draw a card. While humans hear only a deafening roar, the Fae hear music of breathtaking beauty. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is up with this plane that it develops Turtle Hydras, but I don't want to know.
I mean, the fact that the Fae are like, oh, you're so pretty, my turtly baby, is kind of how I'm picturing that. Like, the cooing that you would give to a small pet.
That's terrifying, but yeah, probably.
Oh god. I'm just picturing it and it's kind of terrifying.
So are there
Okay.
any
So
cards
let's
in
see. Are there
particular
any
you want
cards
to
that
talk
you
about?
wanted? I was literally about to say the same thing.
Well, I just ran
Um,
through a whole bunch of dumb things that I'm just
you
like,
did.
yes, put them
You
in my
did.
face. Or not put them in my face. I
Let's
played them and they're great.
see.
I'm still a little sad that there's no, like, have X food cards and find and win game in janky, stupid way. But
Oh,
I
you know
still
what it was?
appreciate that they can win.
We didn't get down to green last time. We only got through
I think we jumped sort of a bit into green, but
we maybe mentioned a couple of things and that's about it.
like I think we talked about questing beast, and I think that was probably about it because I think it was
Yeah.
the only mythic we knew about at that point.
Just overall impressions as we have seen the rest of the set. Um, Black is scary. Black is giving me hardcore Innistrad feels.
Black is scary, but I also love that the food deck is somehow in black and green. I don't know why, it just fits. Oh, that reminds me. Did you actually want to read the Henge card?
Sure. It's there, where is it? Okay, the Great Henge.
I'm cheating and throwing it into our Discord. Haha.
Thank you. You know what? It's an okay cheat to do. Because I had seen it and I was like, okay, wait, where was it again? So for 7 generic and 2 green, it's a legendary artifact. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Tap it. Add 2 green, you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
It's just kind of good. One other card that I super enjoyed getting to play with was Return of the Wild Speaker. Which
I liked the art on this one.
I didn't realize this was an instant like 4 times where it would have been super helpful. For 4 generic and a green, it's an instant, not a sorcery. Choose one. Draw cards equal to the greatest power amongst non-human creatures you control. Play out the Troll King and laugh. Or, non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. It sucks that that doesn't give trample, but the fact that it's an instant means that you can use it as a combat trick. So, worth the trade-off, honestly. This card won me at least a couple of games.
Why is he dissolving? And what is he dissolving into?
He's not dissolving. The idea is... So remember back in original Innistrad that Garruk became cursed by Liliana picking up or using the Chain Veil on him. And has been cursed since then. And has been actively hunting and killing planeswalkers.
Gotcha.
And he's been occasionally, like, experiencing... Not experience... He would occasionally get, like, relief, like, at the end of Innistrad... No, actually, sorry, he was cursed by the Chain Veil before original Innistrad. He's been cursed for a long time, now that I think about it. Because what I was thinking of Innistrad was that when Avacyn was restored, he was very briefly... Like, the curse was pushed back. And something during this set has cleansed him of the Veil Curse. So the stuff that's, like, flying off of him is the remains of the curse, and also, I guess, his clothes, which is why he just has, like, his...
He's got his pants. And his gloves.
I don't think he'll have those soon, since all of his clothes are dissolving. I was mostly just trying to go, like, why he has his pecs out, but that sounds dumb?
I don't know. Well, you just said it anyways, so...
Yeah. I was trying to think of another way to say it, and was just like, I can't think of anything. Fuck it.
He's got his pecs out. It's totally fine. So let's see.
Hey, I guess that's important. We finally got closure on Garrick's story-ish, sort of.
Yay.
We'll see how long it lasts.
I'm sorry. I am skimming right now to see.
No worries. That's part of why I'm trying to be distracting.
Yeah. Claim the Firstborn. Just from a fairy tale perspective, it's a red.
Can you give me a color? Oh, okay.
It's red.
What did you say the name was?
Claim the Firstborn.
Is that with a K or a C?
Claim, as in to
claim.
stealing all the babies.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah, stealing all the babies, Rumpelstiltskin style.
I think it's just one child, isn't it? Just one very
Except
specific
it looks
child?
like there's multiple beds in this nursery.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, so claim the firstborn. It's a red. It's a sorcery for one. One red. Gain control of target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. The deal was struck, and the favor had been done. And so, under the cover of night, the debt was paid. Yeah, it's a very, again, fairy tale trope. You can sell your firstborn to get things.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't, but yeah, I guess you can.
Yeah.
That is an option that you certainly have.
It's not great.
No.
I mean, it's a little baby.
Yeah.
It's gonna be baked into a pie. So it's a pie baby. Sorry.
On that note, I feel like we should stop because there's no way to dig ourselves out of that trench.
Okay, so just overall thoughts on this set. It's really cool. I like it a lot. From an art perspective, I got all the hearts, all the love for the creativity shown in the set, and I really do want to play it.
And having played it, I will say that I still super enjoyed the set. The art is gorgeous. The flavor running through it is pretty solid. The set has this weird feeling of, at least in a limited format, it has this bizarre feeling of your game is either going to go long, but not necessarily because you're playing like Battlecruiser Magic, just because you're playing a lot of little things that need support to finish the fight off. So either your game is going to go long, enabling you to play stuff like Feasting Troll King, or you're forcibly playing a really low-to-the-ground aggro deck to try and kill before your opponent can stabilize. Which,
Yep.
I don't think that's bad, but it's definitely a weird dichotomy to jump between, like, aggressive, everything must be destroyed, and nothing will be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm really into this set. I want to play it. Honestly, I would read a whole series of novels set on this plane.
Well, I don't remember how they're doing story anymore, so
there's
maybe
books. I think there's a new book.
There's a book, and I think it came out recently.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah, it came out on the 9th, looks like, or wait, nope, that's War of the Spark Forsaken. Which also isn't out yet, son of a butt.
Yeah, so we're not sure what's going on with the story. I would really like, honestly, I would read a whole series set on Throne of Eldraine, or at least a trilogy. I would put work into a trilogy.
I'm reading the goddamn descriptor for...
Oh, it's an ebook.
Yeah, it's always an ebook. I'm reading the descriptor for Forsaken, and just read part of it that's like, you could not have written this sentence worse. Which is, at the future of the Gatewatch, as the team says their final goodbyes to the fallen Gideon Jura, Jace, Chandra, and others struggle with questions about their place in the multiverse. I'm like, wait, the way that you wrote that has you thinking through the first half of the sentence that Jace and Chandra also died. That's not how you write a good sentence. Ugh.
Are you seriously? Oh, boo! They're charging you for the Throne of Eldraine, the Wildered quest.
Yeah, they charge for all the books now. Except for the one that Sanderson wrote, if I remember correctly.
You know what? I might read this. It's $3.99. It's set on Eldraine.
Yeah. I honestly don't recommend reading the one that Sanderson wrote for them. Because they appear to have spent all the money getting Sanderson to do the writing and then never hired an editor.
Boo!
Because, like, Sanderson's a great writer. He also, frankly, gets his stuff peer-reviewed and edited, probably to a fault.
Yep.
Like, when his most recent book has literal pages of beta and I think gamma test readers because he needs editors. Don't hire good writers and then not hire a fucking editor.
Doesn't he literally have someone for his continuity?
Yep, he does.
He literally has someone who keeps things straight because, as you know, we like Sanderson on this channel. We like Sanderson a lot.
This is more of just like the book is perfectly fine, but what is the name of it?
Okay, 3 hours and 28 minutes. Yeah, fine. I'll read this. And I'll tell you about how I feel about this once I've read it.
Hang on. I need to check the name of this stupid book because it's going to drive me up the wall if I don't remember it.
It's my day off. I'll just read it. It's fine.
Okay.
I can chew through a novel in a couple hours. That's fine. I'll just make myself a really big cup of tea.
It's Children of the Nameless. It's following one of the planeswalkers who appeared in
Wait, since when do they have a comic line?
They don't. It got canceled.
There's like a couple of Chandra comics.
No. They never came out.
They're on Kindle.
I don't believe you because they were supposed to come out in October and they were canceled about a month ago.
Link.
Yeah, these have been canceled. I didn't think any of these actually came out. That's weird.
Yeah, it looks like there's maybe 4? There's 4 of them. Yeah.
Huh.
I wouldn't send you the link for it if it didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's actually readable.
When did these come out?
Dunno. Last December.
Maybe these were supposed to continue and that's what got canceled? But yeah, like... Oh! Right! Sorry, this is the... Okay, yeah. Because IDW did 2 runs of this. This one says that it's coming out in... Okay, so that... Okay. Yeah. IDW, I guess, was supposed to continue running this, and after 4, it's canceled, it looks like.
Okay, so, like, not crazy. I am seeing this.
This is why I've never been into comics, because it's $4 for a comic that's 30 pages.
Yeah, well, some of them are... The Kindle edition is $2, but the actual physical comic book is $8 per comic.
$2 for a 30-page comic on my Kindle is still not worth it.
Yeah. If you're a big reader and you chew through things, comics tend to be disappointing.
You get them as a trade when you can get a whole bunch of them at once. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Children of the Nameless is the book that Brandon Sanderson wrote for them, and the issue is not continuity. The issue is that it has a running thing of like, there are 4 sentences in a row that say the same thing. So just cut down to one of them. Or in one case, using the word well 5 times in 2 sentences. It's just like, he's a great writer, but every great writer is made by the fact that they also have a great editor, and you didn't hire an editor.
What was the original rating for this? I need to see this. I've glanced through the first couple pages, and I'm feeling kind of like this wasn't edited either. Yeah.
I'm trying to find the thing about the Chandra comic getting canceled, but...
So this podcast has devolved into a multitude of things, as it usually does.
Oh, yeah. This is how the end of this podcast always goes, is we just lose our freaking mind.
Yeah. This is true. Such is life. I'm very curious to read this. I will tell you how I feel about it, but I'm also just kind of, is how I'm feeling right now. Just a couple pages in. Because, yay, digital reading. I was going to knit today.
Oh,
but I might end up reading.
This is why I'm confused. Because so the reason why I was like, what the hell do you mean the Chandra comics came out? Because the Chandra comic that is being published is a not a different one, but it's This doesn't have a subtitle, does it? No, it's just Chandra, Magic the Gathering Chandra number 1 through 4. The one that was canceled that never is coming out at all was Chandra Trials of Alara, which was supposed to be a different 4 comic series that was supposed to start launching in... I think this was actually supposed to start coming out in August and got delayed. Yeah, it was originally supposed to publish in August, the first issue of Magic the Gathering Chandra, The Trials of Alara. Also, why the hell... moving away from the fact that for some reason they were going to be doing a second series of Chandra comics while they still had another one coming out. Sure, whatever.
That's not confusing.
Yeah, the first issue was supposed to come out in August and was never published. It was officially... the second one is also already supposed to have come out. Then it was delayed until October... And on September 21st, all 4 issues have been canceled, as well as the planned collection of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which was, despite having Chandra's face on it, was apparently supposed to involve Jace.
Why?
Because the... yeah. And remember that we still technically have, there is not an A company, there is, Fox currently has the rights to do a Magic the Gathering movie. As a reminder, there was news a couple months back about someone being fired from working on that. The person who was fired was the person who optioned the script to the studio. The fact that they were still employed was weird. That wasn't actually any kind of news. Because normally what happens is, you option a script to a studio, the studio buys your option, and then says, now go the hell away because we're going to do what we want with it because now we own your script. Not, hey, hang around and stare over our shoulder while we change your script to be something we actually want to make. That's weird. That's not a thing that normally happens. I want to say the Russo brothers are doing a Magic... series for Netflix. Yep, Russo Brothers are doing a Magic Netflix series that was announced back in June with no news on that so far.
It's an animated series.
Yep. Being animated by the company that does... Oh god, I had a long list of this, but it's one of those companies that's like, it does a bunch of good stuff and some stuff that I'm just like, I don't know why you would advertise that you animated that. Because the problem is that I remember they animated a bunch of really good things, and Rick and Morty, which is a perfectly fine show, but I hate its animation personally.
Entertainment shows. What else do they do?
Oh
god, VeggieTales. It animates VeggieTales.
Oh, good. So yeah, also, and I guess because we're just on this now, let's see here. The reminder that the Magic Portal app has not actually been canceled or quietly hit... Oh, wait, no. Was it They have announced whatever the hell is happening with the Magic Portal app, and just all of us somehow missed it. So that one is not gone to the ether. They have told us whatever's going on with it. I just don't want to look up yet more stuff. And that company who makes nothing but MMOs is still making the MTG MMO. And, well, yes, they haven't said anything about it in, 2 years. This is sort of their MO. They announce, hey, we're doing a branded MMO. Now you won't hear anything about it for between 2 and 4 years. And then it'll just happen.
Here's an example of films that Bardell Entertainment has worked on. The Prince of Egypt, which is one of the most beautiful animated films ever done. They helped with that. Let's see, DC... Simpsons, Puss in Boots, Rick and Morty, Teen Titans Go, which should not exist, Bob's Burgers. Okay, so just kind of a little bit of everything.
Okay, Teen Titans Go is perfectly fine. It's not made for our generation.
That's fine. I've watched some of it, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's not for us.
There's other stuff that I like better on. And yeah.
Ooh, you roboted out for that entire thing.
I said, see what my Wi-Fi is doing. I am a self-professed cartoon lover.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to wrap it up with this?
I think that's okay to wrap up.
Yeah.
Hang on. I do want to check really quickly who's making the MTG MMO. Right, Cryptic Studios. Like I said, Cryptic Studios literally does nothing except for take someone else's IP and turn it into an MMO. I promise you that game is still in the works. This is what they do. They gain access to an IP and then take usually between, like I said, 2 to 4 years and make it into an MMO with no announcements between start and finish. It'll just happen at some point.
It'll just appear and you're like, oh, wait, where did that come from?
Yeah. Oh, and reminder that there is also another MTG app whose name is currently escaping me that was announced as a, like, this is in testing in certain parts of the world and has not received an update since then. So there's other things to be way more concerned about. I'm trying to remember what the other app was.
Companion app. The Magic the Gathering portal.
I don't actually know what the companion app is, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. What is the one I'm thinking of? It wasn't Duels. It wasn't Puzzle Quest, because that's... Oh! Valor's Reach! Yeah. MTG Valor's Reach, which, as a reminder, was... Let's see here. Is this the actual article that started it? No, this is a Touch Arcade article. Why the hell are you referencing a Touch Arcade article? Yeah. Valor's Reach is a Magic-inspired mobile game developed by Seismic Games and published by Wizards of the Coast on March 23rd, 2019, except that it wasn't. It was supposed to start a limited beta testing in Southeast Asia, if I remember correctly, on... Oh, no, sorry. It launched March 25th. Soft launch in the Nordic region. It has not yet launched anywhere else, nor has it received any updates since its launch. So just a reminder that, yeah, there's plenty of other things that Magic is doing weird, not updating stuff with. Also, that the art style for it is powerfully weird.
I'm looking at the...
Yeah. Yeah.
This looks like some, like, cheesy tween cartoon.
Yeah. Like, as a reminder that we actually really love Magic, but Wizards is doing some very dumb things.
I get that they're trying to do expansion, and...
The problem is that they're basically doing Okay. So, I hate Games Workshop as a company. I really appreciate some of the products that Games Workshop puts out. The problem is that Games Workshop used to have this policy of, we will only give our access of our IP to specific companies, which is why for a very long time, every video game that was based around Warhammer 40,000 was developed by Relic, because Warhammer 40k was basically like, here, you have this massive access to our IP because we've established that you are the people who do the games we want the way we want them to be done. And when Relic went under, there was sort of a mental shift for the way the Games Workshop worked, where instead of doing selective, like, here, you can have access to this large branch of the IP, they started going, no, the IP is what's making us money, so we'll sell out little aspects of it to any game dev who asks. Because as a reminder, StarCraft by Blizzard was not originally supposed to be its own thing. They wanted to make an RTS with Warhammer 40k stuff, and at the time, Games Workshop said no, so Blizzard developed StarCraft as a standalone thing instead. Now, you can type into the iPhone App Store Warhammer 40k, and you're going to get a bunch of really shitty games that are just a weird, like, there'll be a chess game where the pieces are Warhammer 40k players because Games Workshop has just started selling the IP to different companies who just ask for it. And Wizards is doing a bizarre combination of those two, because it seems like their goal is, we want complete media saturation for Magic. We'll sell the IP to anyone who asks for it, but we're also going to try and like bring on big names to do stuff and just assume that that'll make it good. So like bring on Brandon Sanderson because he's an amazing author without hiring an editor, or grab a company to do a mobile game and then never make sure that that company follows up with the mobile game to make sure that it ever leaves the Nordic region. Or set up a comic deal with IDW and make sure that it goes through. Or doesn't miss its delivery date 2 months in a row.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Like, we've established that we have many concerns about the actually, honestly, the two people who are in charge of maintaining story in Wizards right now.
It is that, do they do their job, or do they just go, nah, I'm fine, I don't like this anymore?
I meant more because the only one who's publicly talked has a history of not great things in their past. We did an entire episode on the not great things that they've done personally and like that they've done creatively in their past, and also that their take on it as an extensive story is not good. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. And then we look back at the actual Magic set of Eldraine and go like, but that was really good. That was really good.
It's creative.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing where you're not revisiting a new set. It's just... And
yes,
yes,
that's fine.
Fairy tales are widely available information, are just widely available
but they
IP.
put a good spin on it.
Yeah, they really did. And it was
I think it
fun.
I think it comes back to that sort of idea that we harped on about not before, but sort of like during the beginning of transitioning to all Ravnica all the time, which was that we don't even necessarily want story in Magic, because frankly, the story has never been good. Like, I don't care how much you think that the Brothers War was great. It's massive. Being massive is not a good thing. The fact that the fact that Magic can set up and establish these great, amazing worlds that can be a self-contained thing is what really matters. I don't need to know that this person...
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't need to know that, like, Jace is hopping around between a whole bunch of different worlds doing who the hell knows or cares what. All I need to know is that, okay, yes, planeswalking is the method by which you're using as an excuse to go to different worlds. We don't need an audience insert anymore.
I love when they do these concentrated... I almost want to call it a capsule. It's its own beautifully created world.
Yeah.
That is what I love about Magic. That's the thing that gets me into Magic. Is like, oh, cool. Let's see how this new world functions. Exactly that.
Yeah, like, sure, having characters who return once in a while is awesome, but they've already established that they don't want to maintain them as characters, so why does it matter? Just keep showing... Like, heck, I'm even okay... Like, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Zendikar now that it's no longer ruined by Eldrazi. I'm curious to see what that's going to mean. Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for, oh, yay, we're going back to Zendikar so we can see the story of whoever the hell is still alive. I'm curious to see, you've fundamentally changed the plane twice now. What will it look like now? Like, that's what I'm here for. As much as I like story, I wish they would basically make a decision of, do we want to have good story or do we want to have good world building? And let one of them go. Because you don't need the story. As much as, like, we love story, you don't need it if the world building is good.
Yeah.
Like, I've harped on this...
The cards themselves will tell their own story.
Yeah.
Or there's the, like, oh gosh, how was it? When we went back to Ravnica, our last episode, where we were just like, ooh, what else, what kind of story is going to happen? What are we seeing?
Yeah, and it turned out that all the stuff that we were seeing was fucking wrong, by the way. That it was just like...
I don't care that it was wrong. That was so fun.
Yeah, and that's just my concern of, like, yeah, that would have been good world building of, like, something's happening. You're making this thing of, like, yes, the like, there's a doom like, there's characters saying there's a doom coming to Ravnica, and you have, like, all of the trees sort of dying or going through, like, just a fall transition, and then the next set is, oh yeah, there's actually still nothing happening. Also, Niv Mizzet died off screen, and we won't tell you until the third set!
Yep.
I'm just gonna keep making that horrible noise from the back of my throat.
Then let's save your vocal cords, because I know you're streaming later.
Yeah, I am.
We went off in our standard. We have feelings, we have emotions and opinions, and we're gonna say something about them.
Yes.
Kind of rant that we're good at.
With that, we will call it here. So let me do the smart thing and transition over to the end screen. And I should turn the music down here because I think I forgot to. And just as a quick thank you to our patrons who support both our streams and this podcast, thank you very much to Tramer101, Stark Maximum, Donovan Bain, and Dracus. If you like what you heard here, please consider supporting us over on patreon.com/lairoflore. You can also find this podcast as well as everything else we do at lairoflore.com. And you can get access to stuff like our VODs at least 24 hours early, sometimes more. This podcast 24 hours early, unless you're listening to this on MTGcast, then probably like 3 weeks early. If you support us on Patreon, as well as the Engine Room, which is stuff before and after these podcasts and before and after our D&D sessions. Also, you can get the recordings of our D&D sessions. There's a lot of stuff that we have on our Patreon. So please consider checking that out, and I guess we'll see you all next week?
Just real quick for all the social media type stuff, we are Lair of Lore everywhere.
Yes. Lair of Lore on Twitter, I guess technically Facebook, YouTube. You can also email both of us at masterminds@lairoflore.com. I think that's about it then. Okay. Well, with that, we will see you all next time. Bye, folks.
Bye.